Welcome to the Degenerate Dillon podcast, where Dillon has you covered with everything from spreads to futures to prop bets. Follow him every weekday as we pick daily best bets using stats, analytics, and a little bit of luck. Now here's your host, Degenerate Dillon himself, Dillon Nelson.
How we doing? It is Tuesday, a big college basketball Tuesday. A lot of huge games tonight in the form of top 10 matchups and one really big Big Ten matchup. First, we'll touch base on our 2 for 2 yesterday that we went on. We did take the Sixers yesterday to cover the 5 because Embiid played. Sabonis, however, did not cover the 22.5, scoring only 15 points. We took the over on that player prop. Cade Cunningham also showed up late. I only had 2 points, no field goals, all the way to the last 10 minutes of the game, and then turned it on late. And Oklahoma State beat Oklahoma and swept them and covered the spread, just like we said. Games like that, you roll with the best player. Best player didn't play that great throughout the whole entire game or through the 3 quarters of the game. But when it mattered and the game got down to the end, double team or not, Cade Cunningham showed up. So big win for Oklahoma State there to probably increase their seeding and definitely increase their seeding in the Big 12 tournament next week. That was a makeup game right there for earlier in the year. Big game for the Cowboys. Syracuse wins their 6th straight game at home. And we talked about yesterday how all the analytics led towards Syracuse. All the ESPN staff picks were on Syracuse. The team ranking picks was on Syracuse. We took North Carolina. You win some, you lose some. Syracuse won this game. They covered the spread. Spread was 1.5. I don't know what it closed at. I took the money line, so I don't necessarily know what it closed at. It could have closed at 2 and then been a push. I don't know. But when I looked at it yesterday morning, whenever I decided to take the money line, it was at Syracuse by 1.5. So if it stayed at that and closed at that, Syracuse covered that. Yeah, so that was 2 for 2 yesterday on our picks yesterday. Not bad, not great. We'll take 50%. Depending on how you bet it, that's a push. It was a push for me. But we'll move on. It is a new day. Hopefully we go 2 for 3 or even 3 for 3 on our picks today. Like I said, really big games tonight. Starting off with Baylor visiting West Virginia. A couple of keynotes here. This is the first matchup of these two due to COVID-19 restrictions. They have not played all year. Huge game. Baylor coming off first loss of the year to Kansas on Saturday. Huge win for Kansas. Moving on up. Anytime you beat an undefeated team this late in the season, it definitely helps your seeding going into your conference tournament into March. Both teams are great against the spread. Baylor is 13-6 and West Virginia is 13-10. 13-10 is not just fantastic like 13-6 is, but it's still pretty good. You love those numbers if you're a West Virginia bettor. West Virginia has won and covered their last 3 games. Baylor has only covered 1 of their last 4. Just a few little keynotes right there. I really like West Virginia's big man, Derek Culver. Baylor really relies on guard play. They run a lot of transition offense, a lot. And that could be a problem for Derek Culver. That really could be a problem. But then again, you could look on the other side and say, Derek Culver, 6'11", 250, big dude, scores, gets rebounds. Baylor doesn't have an answer for that. Baylor's got 3 forwards on the roster. And their forward that plays the most with the 4-guard system they run is 6'8". I mean, it's not, 3 inches is not a big discrepancy, but in basketball it is. Especially when The opposition is 6'11" and weighs 250 pounds. That's a big man. It's a big man, folks. But like I said, Baylor likes to run transition offense. If West Virginia can control this game and play their press defense, this could be a really good game. However, this is the Baylor Bears. I don't care if they're coming off a loss. I don't care if they're 1 for 4 in their last 4 games against the spread. I don't care. The play here is Baylor to cover the 4.5. And I will bet Baylor to cover spreads until they prove me wrong. 13-6 against the spread is a number I am willing to gamble. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to take Baylor with the 4.5 in West Virginia to beat a very good West Virginia team. I think that's going to happen. Second great game of the night is Illinois visiting Michigan in another top 10 Big Ten matchup. Huge game. Massive game. Excuse me. A couple bulletin points for this game. The line is Michigan by 8. I love that line for Illinois. I love that line. You're telling me the number 6 team in the country, I don't care who they're playing, the number 6 team in the country is getting a cushion of 8 points? Illinois has won 8 of their last 10 and covered 7 of that 10 also. Great numbers in the last 10 games. That's crazy. Great numbers. Michigan has won their last 7 and covered 6 of those. Also, great numbers. These are 2 of the best teams in the country, and the numbers don't lie. Just facts. I'm just throwing facts at you. That's all. Big key for this game. Listen close. The big key for this game, and I might just absolutely butcher this pronunciation, but the big key for this game is if Ayo Dosunmu, Illinois' best player, top scorer, best player, had the averages the most minutes on the team. He's been out for a week with a nose. Big key for this game is if he plays tonight. I've looked at a bunch of injury reports. He's out as of right now. I've listened to a couple of podcasts from that area. Nobody really knows. It's up in the air right now. So, that being said, if Ayo plays, I like Illinois to cover 8 easily. Hell, someone might have the balls enough to bet this game, bet money line Illinois. I don't. I'm going to bet the spread. But I'm not going to bet the spread until the injury report comes out about an hour before tip-off. Excuse me. But if Ayo doesn't play, who do we like here? We like the number 2 team in the country, Michigan Wolverines, to walk into Champaign and destroy the Illini. Simple as that. Michigan's that good this year. It's ridiculous how good Michigan is this year. So pay attention to the injury report there. If Ayo plays, my play is Illinois to cover the 8. If he does not play, Michigan covers the 8. Third game of the night, Wisconsin visiting Purdue. The Boilermakers have been looking real good second half of the season. Wisconsin has digressed the second half of the regular season, losing 6 of their last 10. Usually don't see that from Wisconsin. You know, Wisconsin's a really good basketball school, and they really played a good first half of the season. Not so much second half. Purdue has progressed the second half of the season, winning 7 of their last 10. Rankings-wise, these teams are right next to each other. Purdue's at 23, Wisconsin's at 25. The spread says it. This is going to be a close game. Spread's at Purdue, favored by 1.5. Another bulletin point. Purdue has also covered 7 of their last 10. So not have they only won 7 of their last 10. They've covered 7 of their last 10. Wisconsin is 11-13 against the spread total. Not great. Not terrible, not great. Trevion Williams is the big man at Purdue. Really like him. Really like him in this game. Wisconsin's got some really good big mans that can shoot three ball. But Trevion Williams has had 9 double-doubles this year. He scored 28 points in a game against Michigan State 2 weeks ago. If this guy's on, Purdue can win this game easily. Wisconsin has looked like crap. I'm going to take the momentum play here. That's just me. I'm going to take the momentum play. I'm taking Purdue to cover the 1.5 at home. I think this is an easy play. Matter of fact, we'll lock this in as the lock of the night. Purdue covers the 1.5. Yeah, especially at home. We like that pick. We really like that pick. That'll be it for us tonight. Those are some really, really big games. I'm super pumped to watch tonight. Also, the Hogs play South Carolina. For the Hog fans out there that are watching this, the line of this morning was Arkansas by 4.5. It is in South Carolina. Punch that line. Punch it. Punch it, punch it, punch it. Put the mortgage on it. We're not going to lose to South Carolina, and it's not going to be a close game. South Carolina is awful. It's terrible. Frank Martin should be on the hot seat if he isn't already. It's a bad team. Arkansas is the hottest team in the country, besides Gonzaga. You could even argue that it's Arkansas over Gonzaga because Gonzaga plays in a bad conference. Not bad, but you know what I'm saying. Take Arkansas. Take them to cover the 4.5. I'd imagine that line will move up to at least 6 or 7 by tip-off. Arkansas is really good. It's just plain and simple. But yeah, really looking forward to Tuesday night's action. Stick with us. 2-2 start to March. Not terrible. I think we're going to go 3-3 tonight. I really like these picks. So maybe we will be 5-2 going into the third tomorrow. But I don't know. We'll see. I really appreciate y'all watching, man. I really appreciate y'all listening. We got some good guests coming on. If you didn't hear yesterday, Julian Edlow is coming on next week to discuss conference tournaments and March Madness. Also might give us a few prop bets. JC Jackson Collier from JC Hoops Pod will be on the show again sometime, not next week, but maybe the week after Monday. And we'll fill out some brackets together. Might be a little bit long episode. But if you like filling out brackets, I would really recommend watching me and Jackson while you fill out your bracket yourself. I think it's going to be a great conversation, some great upset picks. It's going to be really fun. I'm really excited for that episode. But stick with us, man. I really appreciate the loyal listeners and the loyal watchers that actually take time out of their day to watch me ramble on with these picks. But we had a really good February to start this show off, and I think we're going to have a really good March. So yeah, just keep on watching, man. We'll make some money together. But that's it for me. Y'all have a great Tuesday, and I will catch up with y'all mañana.